today's panel discussion is Sharma Roy Majumdar. Sharma is the founder and teacher at iqeducation.in. Her mission is to make education simple and easily accessible to her students. After she completed her MSc and MTech in biotechnology, she has been mentoring graduate and postgraduate students of biosciences. Now I request Sharma to start the panel discussion. Over to you, Sharma.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Finally, the day has arrived. I'm so excited for today's event. To build a successful career, we require many qualities of soft skills. We learn some of them from our home and school, and we unknowingly use them in our everyday life, and we eventually get good at it. However, when we start building our professional career, we need to become more independent, and at the same time, we start facing new challenges. We feel the need to develop new skills to address these new problems, and for that, we must learn them to be successful. Today, we have arranged a panel discussion where professionals at different stages of their career have joined us to share their real life experiences and discuss how soft skills helped them to build a successful career. Let me introduce our panelists. I'll start with Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr. Neha Sharma worked as a volunteer researcher at the Western Sydney University, Australia. She did her PhD in the International Centre of Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, or known as ICGEB, New Delhi. She did her Masters in Biotechnology, Department of Biotechnology, Central University, Bilaspur, where she also worked as a guest lecturer for a couple of years. She is also an active team member of Bioingene. Next, Next panelist is Madhumanti Datta. She is currently a fifth-year PhD student at the University of Southern California, USA. Ms. Datta has completed her Bachelors from the University of Calcutta and her Masters and M.Phil from the University of Delhi. She has taken classes on teaching and research training as part of her PhD coursework at USC, and also worked as a teaching assistant for undergraduate courses for the last 3 years, which provided her with experience in interacting with undergraduate students from diverse backgrounds. Our next panelist is Dr. Shubhabrata Majumdar. Dr. Majumdar is a DBT postdoctoral researcher associated at the University of Calcutta, India. He completed his BSc Honors and MSc in Biotechnology. He is a molecular breeder of fiber crops and a trained professional in rice research from Erie, Philippines. He is also the founder of this platform, Bioingene. Our next panelist is Dr. Basudev Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal is a postdoctoral fellow in the University of California, Los Angeles. Dr. Ghoshal has completed his PhD from the University of British Columbia, Canada. Besides his research, Dr. Ghoshal is actively involved in undergraduate teaching and learning at the University of California, Los Angeles. He serves as a reviewer in several undergraduate research fellowship committees. Our next panelist is Dr. Yogesh Ahlawat. Dr. Ahlawat is a biological scientist at the University of Florida, USA. He works on plant cell wall modification for biofuel production. He did his PhD from the Michigan Technological University, USA, and his master's in biotechnology from Jamia Millia Islamia Central University, India. I welcome all the panelists. Thank you for being here today. This panel is now open for discussion with a common question to all the panelists. My question is, can you share a challenge of your academic life that you thought was due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it? I'll go first to Dr. Neha Sharma. Dr. Sharma, what do you have to
Thank
say
you.
regarding this?
Thank you, Shoma, for such a wonderful welcome for all of us. So, not taking much time, I would say that every PhD comes with some kind of stress. And yes, I was no exception. And I got a lot of stress in the initial years of my PhD. First reason was I was coming from a small town. I had to shift to New Delhi. and it was a shifting for a long-term period. And then it was the first time I left my home. Uh, Before that, I never left my home. I did my master's, graduation, everything sitting at my home. So it was the first time I was coming out of my comfort zone, and I was all on my own, everything. So there, plus there was homesickness. So it created a kind of marathon in my mind, that what is happening. Plus there was pressure of a new environment in research. So we were not that much trained during MSc how to do research, and how the lab environment is. So it was a lot of juggle between personal and professional life, and everything I had to do on my own. So this created a lot of stress. Plus, in the duration, I also lost my father, and it was a big toll on my personal life, and it clearly reflected on my professional life. So, it was so difficult for me to cope up with so many things in such less time, that yes, it really affected my work. It lead to lack of focus. I was not able to produce good results, and then I saw like nothing was working as such during my initial years of PhD. But then slowly I realized that I have to get accustomed to things. I have to realize that things will go like this, and I have to cope up. No one will come up to me. I have to go, and I have to settle myself in the new environment. And I would say in this journey, my lab was quite supportive where I was working. The I would say it was a no politics lab, and it really helped me. Everyone was very helpful. My seniors, my PI, everyone really helped me a lot to come out of this depressing phase of my life. And then yes, it once I came out of this this juggle between emotional stress and professional stress, I was then able to produce good results. And that I'm happy to share that yes, this also led me to a patent. As soon as I got into uh, working in a very focused manner, yes, I was able to do that with the help of all my friends. And I would say, yes, if you have somebody during your PhD journey with whom you can share your day activities, I would say a best friend, or few good friends, then it is really helpful to get out of this situation. Because in most of the time in PhD, your parents may not understand. I know students may face this thing, that whatever they are working in science, they are not able to explain it to their parents. At least they can share it with their subordinates, their colleagues, their seniors, their friends who are working in other labs, and then they can know that yeah, they can also be in some kind of situation they are facing. So once you come out of stress, you become a more resilient, a more determined and more dedicated person. And this I was able, I noticed in myself, when I was able to manage my stress in a positive manner, I was able to produce effectively. And that has helped me not only in finishing my PhD, but yes, afterwards also. Now also, I'm able to do good. I think so.
Amazing. Lovely to hear from you about stress management. I'll next speak to Ms. Datta. Um, Ms. Datta, what do you have to say about a challenge that you faced in your academic life, and which you faced due to lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, thank you very much. I think talking about challenge, what I would like to talk about is time management. So that is, I think, that was a challenge for me in the initial years of my PhD at least. And that the reason for that was, so before I came to the United States for my PhD, I did my Masters and M.Phil in India, and I was living in a university hostel sort of setup. So there was a kitchen, food would be provided, there would be people to take care of the cleaning. So basically I was I was dealing with my project and I had the entire day for myself. That is all I was doing. When I moved here, of course, I had to take care of myself. I had to take care of everything from groceries to cooking and cleaning. But more importantly, I also had to deal with many different things at work. So from the second year, I started TAing. So I started being a teaching assistant. So I had to take coursework. I was taking like 4 courses per semester. Like the first 2 years, we took almost 4 courses per semester. So I was taking 4 courses per semester. I was a teaching assistant from the second year onwards. So I was also attending those classes for which I was a TA. I was preparing for my teaching, and then I was also writing my own research paper. So there were all of these things that I had to take care of, along with taking care of the household. And I found myself a little overwhelmed. And I sort of realized that while it's extremely important to work hard, it is equally important to work smart. And that is the key to being able to make maximal use of the time that you have to produce quality work, and also to maintain a good work-life balance. And so, because you could be spending 10 hours working on something in a disorganized manner, but it's probably possible to get that done in 7 hours if you do it in a properly organized manner. And then you also have 3 more hours to spend on the other commitments that you have.
So true.
So I think what I tried doing was, so I started like sort of making proper schedules and calendars on a week by week basis. So what are the deadlines that I have on this particular week? How many hours do I want to spend on each particular thing? And I started making like proper calendars such that, okay, so Monday, these are the things that I want to do. And the calendar also had to be sort of realistic. So it shouldn't be something like I'm going to work for 20 hours. No. So I tried to come up with sort of realistic, attainable sort of schedules where I would have like, you know, I would be like, okay, I'll be working on this particular thing for 4 hours, and then I'll be taking a 1 hour break, and then I'll be working on that other thing for this many hours. And it requires a lot of practice, but I think that did help me. So I failed a number of times, but gradually I think I got better, and I did not feel as overwhelmed anymore. So I would say that even if you're in a situation where you do not absolutely need to work in a very time-bound manner or maintain a calendar, I think it's very good to be doing that just to get into the practice of doing that. And that always becomes handy in your research life, and I would say maybe even more in professional life later on. Because I feel that my professor needs to have better time management than maybe I need to. So, because things always, you know, keep adding up, and it's very important to have good time management skills.
All right. It was wonderful to hear from you about time management. I'll next move on to Dr. Mojumdar. Dr. Mojumdar, the same question. What were the challenges that you faced in your academic life that you thought were due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome them?
Thanks, Shoma. For the soft skill, there is a lot of things. I think I have to learn a lot of things in the soft skill. That is the one reason that it's my interest to start this type of educational and educational sort of webinar. In my PhD life, or in my life, I faced the problem of scientific writing. I'm a former non-English medium school, and when I entered in my PhD, I realized that writing in English not enough, because we need another level of writing that is called academic writing, and I have no idea about that before my master's and graduation. So how to write academic writing, like the manuscript, like a review paper in an international journal. So when I start my work, I'm not aware that it is such a big problem going to be faced by, I think it's faced by many and all of the researchers in certain point of life. So it's important as we work in a lab, it's the same important, we have to write good paper in good writing skill. So my challenges is how to learn the academic writing and how to write a good paper. So I faced this challenge. I realized that it can be achievable because it's just need a right education, right training and practice. So I looking for the such thing, and I found most of all international journals have their website and they have the guideline to how to write. And I watch so many videos of scientists. Those have a 500, 1,000, even 5,000 papers. So I learned from that, but I still realize that I need to learn more. But I'm happy to share that due to this learning process, I have 4 first author manuscripts, and all are the greater than 4 impact factor, which is greater than 10 NAS rating. So I think I try to realize this fact very early. I suggest all of you that if you not aware this is a good soft skill, you have to learn it. So it's my struggle.
Thank you, Dr. Mojumdar. That was very insightful. I'm sure many would relate with you. I'm moving on to Dr. Ghoshal. Dr. Ghoshal, my question to you is the same. That what was the challenge that you faced in your academic life due to lack of soft skills, and how you overcame them? Dr. Ghoshal, are you there?
Hi. Sorry, I was on
Hi.
mute. Yeah, I was on mute.
Okay,
Yeah.
then no problem.
Thank you, Shoma, first of all, for the nice introduction. So the problem that I'm going to talk about was mostly, I would say, I didn't knew that it was a problem, like it was a soft skill problem at the very beginning. So that's mostly, later on, I came to know that that's called emotional intelligence and empathy. So basically what it means is that how I can manage my emotions in a positive way. So for example, as an undergrad, when somebody would tell me something, like my friends or my seniors, and something not so serious, but it might make you feel bad, and then I will be super serious. It will affect my studies as an undergrad, and I will not do good. I will not be able to focus on my studies. And then later on, during my master's also, I had the same issue. And as a PhD student, and as you have already heard it, during PhD, you have a lot of stress. And in that time, when someone else also tells you something, including your peers, your seniors, I felt that, oh my God, everybody is just telling me something bad and something nasty. Is it me? What am I doing wrong? And it will basically make me feel like I will lose time. I will keep thinking about it rather than getting focused on my studies. And so that was a big challenge for me. And later on, I realized at the different institutes where I did my PhD, also during my postdoc, I took soft skill trainings where I came to know about this term called emotional intelligence and empathy. And there I started learning about it. And I won't say that I'm still good at it. Some things do affect me, but I started learning how can I manage my emotions. So if someone tells me something bad, then I would not take it so seriously always. I will think about it. For example, sometimes it's just the person is telling me something bad because he probably is having a bad day. And he would just tell me because of this bad condition he's going through, and I will think that, oh, he is just bad towards me, but that's not the case. So while taking this soft skill training courses, what I learned is that now I try to focus on 2 things when I mix with others or when I'm going through this kind of issues. Because when suppose you're in a PhD lab and you have time pressure, you are if you're in a different country, that's another issue. And among that, if someone else tells you something bad, then you really feel like depressed. So now when someone tells me like this, I follow. two things. I try to follow two rules. One is that I try to focus on why am I here. So I try to basically think, okay, what am I doing? What is my main purpose here? Why I try to be more professional, I would say. And then the next thing I try to do is I try to give the other person a benefit of doubt. So in India, as you all know, that we all love cricket. And in cricket, there's a term called benefit of doubt that's mostly given to the batsman if he is out. And basically what it means that if you are not sure why this person is dealing with you like it, you think maybe this person is not having a bad day, is having a bad day. And then you think, okay, maybe the other day he will be fine with me. And I have found that it has worked with me. And now I can handle this kind of issues a lot. And so it's not as a specific thing I feel, but it has helped me to focus on whatever I do. So that is something I was lacking, and I'm still trying to get better at it, and hopefully one day I will. Yeah, and so that is how I overcome. Yeah, thanks.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful to hear from you about emotional intelligence and empathy. It's a very important soft skill. Okay, I'll now move on to Dr. Ahlawat. Hello, Dr. Ahlawat. My question is the same. What type of challenges did you face in your academic life that was due to the lack of soft skills, and how did you overcome it?
All right. Thanks so much for the nice introduction and having me over. And I've had a great time listening to these wonderful speakers. And what I felt was like we all have we have these soft skills somewhere in our life, but it just is important to recognize those during the course of our life and during the struggle. And pretty much like, since everybody has spoken about time management, stress management, empathy, writing skills and all that. So pretty much, I think that determines your mindset. And I would say the mindset of a person defines your attitude towards any challenges or a problem that come across during, even your family or even in your daily professional life or a personal life. So mindset, the growth mindset is very important. And somewhere I feel like, everybody has a mindset which is either static or a dynamic mindset. If you are looking for a long-term goals, like I would say, I never like had a problem without having the skill set, because I was still able to survive within the deadlines and within the requirements of my work or in my professional personal life. So I think somewhere it is important, if you want to expand your horizons and grow more and on a larger scale, it is important to have a dynamic mindset, like which explains your growth. So I have some key attributes that I always look up to, especially about this growth mindset. Like not having a plan B in life is very important, because you always rely and go back or lean back on the plan B, which and sometimes that actually somewhere you loses the hold on the plan A. So that's more important. Second is more important, I feel like work within the deadlines. I feel like when you have some, like I personally work great and I work efficiently when I have deadlines approaching my way, because I think somewhere human beings, we tend to procrastinate to some extent, depending on how efficiently we prioritize things. So that's one thing I feel like. And again, how you take the challenges. If you take the challenges as problems, you might not excel in life. Or if you take the challenges as opportunities, because every challenges in your life, I think, help you grow, because you might not know your potential, but when these challenges come across your life, you definitely try to stretch yourself out of your comfort zone, which is very important, because within that comfort zone, I feel like and not taking risk, because somewhere I feel like research drives risk in the research, or even in the personal life, taking some risk, it drives innovation, it drives something new in our life. And because I had like a couple of examples which really drives me crazy, like when I hear about like Thomas Edison has like 1,000 failed experiment and 1,001 was the light bulb. Same way, like Michael Jordan, who was a famous basketball player, he had like 9,000 missing shots, and those missing shots help him become the most successful basket player in the world right now. So I think if you be more continuous in your efforts, that is more important. Another thing I feel like, if again, those mindsets, how you take those challenges, I think it depends from person to person. So especially like I said, I don't listen to no sayers, even if like if I give myself certain deadlines, certain like limits, or so I'm a strong critic. I'm a strong critic of myself. So something, if you be your own critic and you can criticize yourself, and your what you are, what your potentials are, so basically I think that definitely drives your growth. And that's something. So it just go out of your comfort zone and do something great. And I think give yourself some deadlines. So those are some of the factors I would say are very important in order to encompass all those skill set, because we all have it. It is important to just recognize those skills. So that's all from my side.
Oh, lovely to hear from you about growth mindset. It's really important. We have heard from our panelists that they have faced many problems and struggled to overcome them, as they lacked some soft skills required to address these challenges. As I have said earlier, we start our career with some soft skills which we carry along from our home or school education. Let's discuss those skills with our panelists. Okay, so the next question for this panel discussion is,